Well, hello, Lost Tube. It's been a hot minute. It's Sherry. For those of you who don't know me, Sherry Briquette, cross stitcher, quilter, sometime machine embroiderer, always crazy, busy work person. That pretty much defines me. Dog mom. You can kind of see the top of his head back there. He's kind of awake. He's old. Mom of two college kids too. So yeah, I'm broke. Let's see. My last video was February 26th. Life got a little crazy since then. So let's see. I don't want to do this. We'll do live update at the end because it's a little involved this time. Okay, so let's see. Last time we talked, again, let's see. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming back. Thank you if this is your first time for being here. Maybe you'll stay and you'll subscribe and hang around. So let's see. Last time I talked to you, we'll do stitching update first. So last time we talked, Lone Star Sampler was what I was working on. And we were headed to San Antonio that evening. We'll get into that live update. Why? If you remember, you remember. And so the project that I was working on stayed there. Did not bring it home. Let me see. So I was working on Lone Star Sampler, which looks like, oh, dang it. I can't get it any better than that. It's a Bee Stitch by Bev Designs. And it's really pretty and it's really cool. And I decided to change some of the colors on my own instead of doing blended threads because it calls for tons of blended threads. I hate blended threads. I don't know why. I don't mind stitching with variegated floss and doing one stitch at a time. I hate mixing DMC colors. It's a pain in the butt. But I'll stitch all day long with blended threads and do one stitch at a time. That's weird, right? So instead of stitching the words in the blended thread, the Cradle of Texas, it's supposed to say Cradle of Texas Liberty, I just used a color and cotton that I thought looked pretty close to what they would have looked like blended together. And I forgot the floss color to fill it in with because that's all I had left to do. I had to get some more of the darker to finish that because I ran out or I couldn't find any. I left the one to color it in at home. So anyway, there's that. So that's where that ended up at. I think the trees got done. I don't remember what all I had done. Anyway, I got some words in and some other junk in. That was about it. Didn't get a whole lot done. Was a little busy. And then next up, and for any of you who don't know and have joined me for the first time, I have a large number of whips, 200 plus. And I made the decision last January, so January 2023, to work on each of them for at least 2 days. And so we're still working our way through the whips. I will finish my way through them before the end of this year, and that will be awesome. So next up, whip, and this part of haul, this was my bag of the month from House of Stitch and Stash. Rika makes amazing bags. They're very beautiful. And you get to pick from 3 different colorways. She always has beautiful colorways picked out for you. I don't remember what the name of that one was. But the next project up was Flox Box by Ink Circles. Look, the original look like that. Was in May 2012 Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. Looks like that on the front. Get out the glare off of there. I am not doing this on the called for color or with the called for floss. I am doing it on a 32 count Wexford linen by Silkweaver called, I think, Dazzle. It's more green than you're seeing there. It's kind of a really actually pretty spring green. And I am doing it with Dinky Dyes. Nope, not, oh yeah, it is Dinky Dyes. Midnight. It's a little more navy than that. That's showing up kind of brighter than it really is. But that's what's being done with that. And that's where I got to. Not a lot done. Like I said, it's been a busy couple of weeks. But every stitch counts, right? Isn't that what we always say? Every stitch counts. And then we had Leap Day. And yes, I got sucked into the Leap Day New Start. Melanie Rose said, let's do a Mirabilia, and then maybe by the next Leap Day in 4 years, we'll have it done. Sure, let's do that. That sounds like fun. So we did, or I did. I did not do a Mirabilia. I did a Nora Corbett because I love this Luna Moth, love the colors in it, and decided that that was going to be the one that I started. And it is on, hang on, I still have the bag that the linen came in, the even weave, 32 count Wexford linen by Silkweaver in Fairyland is the name of it. Looks like that. That's upside down. And just got most of her skirt done. Some of this is DMC and some of it is the called for. There's 2 different colors of Karen water lilies in there, I think. Yeah. So, and I tried to get really creative and stitch with the water lilies from each side so that it would match, that it would be similar side to side instead of just going all the way across. I tried to work it in from each side so that it would be, symmetrical. I think it turned out pretty good. Well, that's where I got on that. And I got wood beads. That's the water lilies. That one, the purpley pink one, it's called Pebbles. That's the one that is in the skirt. And so that one got 2 or 3 days of love because I really liked stitching on it. And I wanted to finish that part of the skirt. And so I put that over to the side. Let's see. Next up was my Prairie Schoolers. This is, get it out of here. Got floss everywhere. Prairie Schooler number 93, book number 93 called Harvest Time. One of the nice thick paper ones still. And I'm doing both the witch and the turkey out of this one. And so first up, I worked on the turkey. Oh, look, cheaters in there. Those don't need to stay in the bag. All right, Mr. Turkey. That's which way's up? That way's up. Mr. Turkey got a whole lot more turkeyed. So he is getting there. I'm getting really close to doing the big tail fan out here, and I gotta do his head and of course his legs. And I gotta fill in, obviously those blank spots in there need to be filled in with another color. But I was just working with that 3371. It looks a lot lighter on here, which is kind of weird because I'm using the called for colors. I don't know. Maybe it'll lighten it up when I put the other the color in the middle. Who knows? But that's where that one is. And then on the witch, this was another day when I had not a lot of time to stitch. Yeah, I think I added like a few rows over the couple of days. Not a lot done. Oh, look, Mr. Doggo's getting up. Wow, he looks really red in the camera. He's not that red. He looks almost like an Irish setter in the camera. That's kind of funny. Let me roll up the floss here. Little piece off the end. But I'm thinking some of these, I just pulled all the floss colors for it. And that also includes the ones for the top one because it doesn't designate which ones are which. I think there's a lot of floss colors in there that are probably not in either of those. But it is what it is. Okay, and then next one in the progress, next one in line by birth date is Halloween Topography. This, I'm not even sure who this is by, who designed it. It was in one of the Halloween editions, Halloween magazines. I bought the catalog, the there it is, Halloween 2016, just cross stitch Halloween 2016. Oh, designed by Elizabeth Spurlock of Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts. Go to look and you shall find out, right? And this one's still in the Q stamps. I didn't take it down yet. I got most of that line done. I have this little piece to do over here, and I'll probably do that today. And then before I take it out of the Q stamps, oh look, it still has thread and needle. Shows you how much I was, yeah, just kind of, when I finished, I finished. You'll find out why in a life update. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up that one. And then next up was, well, let me rephrase for a second. So I have the 25/7, you're supposed to work on it, 25 minutes a day, 7 days a week. Well, mine stays here because it's a big project and doesn't come with me whenever we travel. So it doesn't always get it 7 days a week. Matter of fact, more often than not, it does not. But I'm doing my oldest whip is my 25/7. And so when I finish this one, it'll be the next oldest whip, which is Last Supper. And I worked on this last week. The Texas Stitchers ladies do, they have a Tuesday night Google Meet. I think it's Google Meet. And so this has been my project that I work on with them. And so so what I did when I started is I started in the middle, obviously I'm a middle starter, and worked my way all the way this way. And so I'm working my way back to the middle, doing the back stitch, because the back stitch is insane on this piece. And part of the problem is, I'm going to whine for a second. I'm going to show you part of the pattern, because you're not going to be able to do this whole thing from it if you wanted to. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like the same color backstitch line for multiple colors. Or there's asterisks or stars or little plus signs, and then you got to go follow the instructions. So a different color can be for the same floss, and it's going to be necessarily where or how many strands you use. It is driving me insane. I'm like, you have to check it so many times to make sure you're doing the right color in the right spot with the right amount of strands. And they pick colors that are so similar. Like there's 3 different greens, but they're so close to each other. I'm like, well, I think that's what color it is. So, okay, it looks like that would work next to these colors. So I'm sure I've made some mistakes. Matter of fact, I know I made some mistakes on a cup somewhere, but it's getting done slowly. So I have this page completely done, backstitching, and I am probably over halfway done on backstitching on this page. I have, like, I don't know if you can tell, like all the way over to here on the blue, because I was finishing that out. I'm working on this hand right now. All the food stuff on the table is done over to the line. So, and he's finished except for this hand. I'm going to go from this hand to that hand and those hands, but it's getting there. And it is, other than the fact that it is really slow. Actually, I've got some of the backstitch on the table done all the way over here. It's just slow going. And then when I get to the middle, I will go that way and do the same. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the same thing or if I want to backstitch as I go. I don't know. We'll see. But it's a little crazy. And it's going to take me forever to finish, and that is what it is. But getting there. So that one got, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours that night. So I'd say it got caught up on its 25/7 last week. Haven't worked on it yet this week, maybe today. We'll see. And so then the next pattern in the birthday of whips was, whip birthday in order. Flag Day by Ink Circles. You have to really look at this to see all the stuff in it. It's so cool. All the stars and the eagle and the flags. And I love this pattern. It's so cool. Now, I did a completely different interpretation of this pattern. This is on 28 count natural linen, and I am using DMC, don't let me lie, Coloris Floss 4512. So I kind of did it backward. She had her fabric as the red, white, and blue, and I did the floss. And it's actually red, blue, and gray instead of, so it's red, gray, and blue instead of white. But the white obviously would not have shown up very good on this floss. And that's, picnics, 4th of July, all the good stuff. And so I got down to that corner. I did like this whole chunk over here, got done this go around. So that got 2 days of love, which was fun. Talk about fun time with Stitchy Friends. So I got to work on that on Saturday. I went to Rockport and met up with my stitch-in buddies, Cindy Zufall and Regina Stewart, and we sat and stitched at our favorite local quilt shop, Sew by the Bay in Rockport. They do carry a small amount of cross-stitch stuff, which you'll get to see a little bit of stuff in haul in a minute. And then last but not least, the current project that I'll work on again tonight is Snowman Dancing by Mill Hill, Jim Shore from Mill Hill. He's so cute. And that, oops, gonna have to put that up behind him. Something behind him so you can see him. Because it's hard to see all those whites and ecru's and grays. And that's where I'm at. I got a lot. I got all the ecru filled in on his belly. I got all the white finished on his belly. I started on this, it's 415, it's bluish gray. Got over there and down there. So I'm hoping, other than the beads, I should be able to finish all the lower body white stuff tonight and maybe get the vest done on there. So I'll work on that again tonight. And whoops, needle just fell off. That's not good because that's a big needle. That would hurt if it got in your foot. And then so let's see, where are we? Is that everything I've stitched on? Oh no, it's not. I had a little new start. And I haven't even put this in my Xstitch app, so I really need to do that. Sorry, leaning over to grab it. So I usually carry a small Mill Hill kit in my purse because that's always something that's small and easy to stitch on, in the airplane or the car. And so I started this little guy, Winter Holiday Baking Spirits Bright. It just says, Baking Spirits Bright is the name of it. And this had 1 day of love on the airplane at the airport. And so it got a lot of the, let's see if you can see. Yeah, that's where we're at. So I know you can't tell it because it's really hard to see white on white, but a lot of the white is filled in right here in this middle section. And oh crap, the magnet that's in the bag just pulled it off the thing. Oh well, no biggie. I always put the needle in the action. Well, obviously not always, but that's why I'll put it in the paper like that. And so that's my latest purse project because, always bring stitching because you never know when you're going to have time to stitch. All right, I think that is all the things I stitched on. So it's all the stitching progress. So let's talk about plans. Okay, plans for this week. Obviously, I just talked about I'm going to do Snowman Dancing, and then the next up whip in Birthday Whips birthday order is Good Tidings by the Drawn Thread, and that is being done with. Oh, I actually am doing it with the called for colors between Dinky Dyes and Needlepoint Silks. So yeah, those are all in there. Like, I don't even remember. It's been a while since I stitched on this baby. That's where it's at right now. God, I thought I was further along than that. Well, we always think we're going to get more done than we're going to, right? And after 2 days on Good Tidings, next up will be Baked Alaska by Glendon Place. This is another one of the amazing desserts collection. I have finished the red velvet cake one. I still haven't taken it to the framer. That's pitiful. But this is Baked Alaska in beautiful blues, which I love blue. And it is being done with the call for Dinky Guys silks. I just bought the kit. It was easier because they come in a nice little package. And there's the beads. And this is on, sorry, got lost, got it put away. Get back in there. Being done on Winterfell 28 count Obolugana from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And that is where that one is. That's not quite as purpley as it looks in the screen. So that one will get 2 days of love. Love working with the silks. And next up after that one, and this is all I pulled because that should get me through the end of March with all the stuff that I've got coming up, is Scarlet Tanager by Nora Corbett. This one's part of the Audubon Street collection. I think I have all of them started. If I don't have all of them started, I definitely have all of them. This is on a vintage silk weaver. I do not know the name of it. Oh, look, it's big enough for 2. But that is where we are. The one thing, oh, this is one I started beading as I went because the beads are on here already. The, whatever you call these little things. Hold on, let me see. Hang on. Which way's up? Is that right? That way's up. The little flourishes on the side were not centered. And that just made me crazy. I couldn't do it. So I had to move them. I moved them up so they're centered. Yeah, that's the only change I've made on here. So got a lot of stitching to do on that, got to fill in the center, but that's where that is. All my flush is in there. That one's all 100% DMC and a DMC blend, and then the Mill Hill, just the big ones that are already on there. So I'm pretty sure the beads are done. And then, of course, go back to my original plans for the year are to start the seasonal New York Dreamer pieces. I started wintertime January 1st. And so April 1st, I will start springtime. I don't know if I can get that glare off. And so I don't have my anything kitted up or anything. This is this bag is my to be kitted pile. Oops, my little note fell off it. To be kitted. So I have to get that kitted up. But so that will happen definitely before April 1st. So that's plans. All right, let's talk about haul. You saw my bag that I got from Rika, which is adorable and amazing. And let's see, at my little stitchy meetup with the girls, Regina did one of mine. She pulled a Shari and got a duplicate. So she gave me this one, which was duplicate because I love Thanksgiving shirts and I need to do more. I bought this one from Sew by the Bay. I thought that was cute. I had not seen that before. Fresh cut. It's from one of the Stitch Quarterlies. So got that. And then not cross stitch related, but Hey Quilters. Did you guys know about this? At least Texas Quilters. the All Texas Shop Up. It started March 1st, so I'm a little behind. It's the 18th. So I was actually there on the 16th. But this is, if you do, so they break Texas up into sections. Oh, and so let me finish haul first before we talk about this. I have a bunch of haul waiting for me at Leslie's at Undersea Fabrics. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, I'm definitely going to San Antonio next week because we have an HOA meeting. So I'll show you whenever I get it, but it'll be a hot minute. So anyway, back to All Texas Shop Up. Not obviously not all of the Texas shops are in this because there's apparently it costs a significant amount of money to participate. Because Darlena, the owner of Sew by the Bay, she was telling me that it did cost her a good bit to participate in this. They section out Texas into segments, and there is a grand prize for each segment of Texas. You can do as many as you like. You can do all of them. And then, of course, all the shops are listed and everything. And then in the center is your passport that you take with you. It's not slick paper. That's the word I'm saying. And it's split up into the regions. And so there's my singular one little patch. And so I'm going to try to get my Southeast region and maybe the Central region done. I think I might be able to do that because it goes for 2 months, goes through the end of April. And there are, the magazine itself, to do it is $11.50. And you get a free, what did I do with that? Each shop has their own little block that is specific to them. I'm trying to see if I can find, they have a quilt pattern that has a bunch of them built into it, but I'm not seeing it. But so kind of fun if you didn't know about this. And apparently this is something that they're doing like across the country. Oh, here they are. So this, unfortunately, I'm too late to get the big panel. I did get some of the coordinating fabric, but all of these little squares are from the different quilt shops. They each have their own little pre-printed block that you get for free when you come visit them. If anybody knows where I can get a panel, I'd love one. But as far as I know, they're out, and Darlene said all of the fabric is sold out. You cannot order anymore. She goes, if I do this again next year, which she thinks she will, she's had a lot of people come into the shop because of it. She will order a lot more fabric because they are sold out. You cannot get any more. Okay, live update. Let's see. I have 6 minutes before this next meeting. I may or may not be able to finish this. Okay, live update. We were headed to San Antonio last time to get all of the insulation put in. Got the insulation put in, and it wasn't that stinky. We really didn't need to stay somewhere else, but whatever. We did that. So that was the 28th. We flew home early the morning of the 29th. Worked all day. Yep, worked all day Thursday, Friday. What did we do Saturday and Sunday? I can't even keep up anymore. Oh, I had a hair appointment Saturday. That was why I needed to come home. So hair appointment on Saturday, and then getting the house ready to put on the market. That's been what has literally just taken over my world. Painting, cleaning, getting things packed up. I'm slowly packing the stuff on the bookshelf. You will see this will get less and less stuff on it over time as I continue to pack things up. We did get the house listed last week. I think it went up on the market on Tuesday. Have had a couple of lookers already. One for sure was not going to work out for them because they're too short. Our house has ergonomically raised counters for somebody 5'7.5" at least, because I'm the shortest one in the house. And I think that the wife might have been 4'11". I mean, she could almost rest her chin on the countertops. But the let's see what else. Oh, here's the big one. Yes, I do. Okay, I have it straight. My day is straight because I have the last 2 weeks have been a blur. So that was the second, and then the third. We just worked in the house all day. On the 4th, my mom calls me and says, have you heard from your brother? And I was like, no, my little brother's kind of black sheep of the family. He doesn't really talk to a lot of people. He's kind of a loner, not married, lives alone, whole nine. Might hear from him once a year. And she goes, well, he sent your dad a message this morning saying he's headed to the hospital. Now, we have a clotting disorder in our family. He's had a blood clot once before. And apparently he thought he was having another pulmonary embolus. And he's also a smoker, so take that into account. But so my sister, he hadn't talked to her either. My sister got on the ball, got on the phone, figured out where he went to, went into let me back this up. He lives 10 miles outside of a very tiny town, less than 3,000 people. So he drove himself to the next biggest town emergency room, and they flew him to St. Louis because he had pulmonary emboli, plural. So my sister found out what hospital they took him to. She got there and everything taken care of. They gave him clot busters and outlying hospital, so he could not have surgery immediately. The next morning, Tuesday morning, they took him to surgery and made him sign over a power of attorney because they were worried he was not going to make it. He's almost 50. Long story short, I basically waited till we made sure he was going to be okay. And then I flew home on Wednesday, took care of all of the things, did basically no stitching, helping coordinate care, trying to get him, back to health, and he's doing remarkably well. They took 10 blood clots out of his lungs. So basically open heart surgery, only it was open lung surgery, but it's the same incision. They literally cracked his chest just like you would for open heart. Had him on the pulmonary cardiopulmonary bypass, the whole nine. And he was out of the hospital by Friday. He's back home. He's doing great, absolutely wonderful. The only thing that saved him is the fact that he is so physically fit. He is extremely physically fit. His job keeps him very fit. And yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to pause here for a second, go do this meeting, come back and finish my life update. Right, well, I am back from my quick phone call. That wasn't so quick. It was an hour long. So sun may be, no, sun's not up. It's cloudy outside. But look what I got done. Oh, it's gone. I finished the little thing at the end on my phone call because I didn't have to type this time. I was not the one doing the typing. Yay. So there's that. Okay, so back to where I was. Anyway, so little brother, younger brother, had surgery, got him discharged, still managing with my sister who lives in St. Louis, getting all of his care coordinated because he's not healthcare savvy. Apparently a lot of people aren't healthcare savvy, and it really, navigating the healthcare system is difficult, and it truly is. And unfortunately, when we were there, the first thing that the social worker did when she came in, that care manager, case manager, whatever they call her, she called herself a social worker. The nurse called her a case manager. Came in and said, "Oh, he's out of network." Okay, well, that's cool. It was an emergency, and I had already talked to his insurance company, and because we figured that out, and said that he was only going to be responsible for his out-of-pocket max because of the fact that it was emergent surgery and blah blah blah. She goes, "Well, we may need to get him transferred to another facility." Well, I'd prefer, if he's doing good enough, that we just get him discharged, because you catch shit in the hospital, and the quicker you can get him out of there, the quicker he's going to recover. And he was already getting stir crazy. So yeah, he's not a good sitter. So let's just go with that. But we got him home. We stayed in St. Louis on Friday night, make sure he did okay. So we were close by to the hospital because he's an hour and a half south of St. Louis on a good day, 2 hours, maybe more with traffic. So we wanted to make sure we stayed nearby just in case, things were going to be, worried. And so anybody who doesn't know me, I'm a nurse practitioner, perfectly capable of taking care of him. He's doing absolutely fantastic. We got him back to his house on Saturday. My parents came up from South Texas. They are staying with him because he's not supposed to do basically anything for 2 to 3 weeks. No driving, no lifting more than like 8 pounds. Yeah, he's already blown through both of those, and we're only like 10 days out of surgery. Yeah, so he's doing really well, but it's, getting the care coordinated because he's never had anything big wrong like this before. And he's never really used his health insurance. He doesn't know, thank God he has it, doesn't know what to do or how to make all this stuff happen. So we're working through it with him, with my parents, making sure everything gets done. And again, he lives in a very rural area, which makes things so much harder. But they're going to stay up there with him until he has his follow-up with a surgeon on April 1st, which is great that they're there. And my little brother's like, he's loving life because my mom is there cleaning and cooking, and he's like, yeah, I'm gaining weight because mom's cooking all this good stuff. He's like, it's like having a live-in maid. Which, granted, yeah, he's not supposed to be doing a lot of stuff, but I'm like, make sure you're doing your exercise, doing your incentive spirometer, you know, video calls, making sure everything's good. I came home on Sunday the 10th, and that's when I started that Baking Spirits Bright piece. I did that on the plane on the way home. And then last week was just nuts because after having been on vacation, I still wasn't caught up on email. Still had over 500 unread emails that I've been, trying to work my way through a little bit of each day, but then trying to keep up with the new stuff too. I'm down to 443. That's after working like a crazy person all week last week, trying to get caught up. It's just never ending. And I don't know if I've ever said this before, but a friend of mine and I were guesstimating how many emails I deal with on a daily basis because I archive them all at the end of the year. Because if you don't, the Outlook, like you have to take them out, because I save a lot of things because I need to go back to them later. But when I cleaned them out, my average email per day, average number of emails. Now this is sent and received, so counting both, things that I either had to send myself or had to read before responding to or whatever. Average on a daily basis, 600. Let that sink in for a minute. 600 emails a day. It's nuts. I can't keep up anymore. Can't keep up. So trying like a crazy person to get caught up, and I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you know what? It's job security, right? Job security. The good news is I got a really awesome bonus this year. Cannot beat that. Love and life. Other crazy stuff going on during last week. The people who are installing the autopilot on our plane called and said they had the opening in the shop. So last week was spring break. So they were able to, Kevin flew the plane over to Crosby, which is northeast of Houston, and Cameron drove. They drove home together. Oh, I didn't hear the end of the complaints about that one because, yes, it took him like an hour to fly, hour and 15 to fly, and 3 hours to get home because traffic was bad. It is what it is. So that's hopefully we'll get done soon, which means going to San Antonio next week is going to be in the car. Oh my God, I gotta drive. But that's okay because I can take more boxes. I don't know if you can see the edge of a box here. I'm still packing. I've got lots of boxes. And we're moving little bits up there every time we go. And so now that we have to take the car or truck, the Bronco or the truck. Kevin drives F-150. I've got a Bronco. It will be able to take more with us. And yeah, that's that. I think that's craziness. No, let's see what we got going on this week. What are the crazy plans coming up? Stitch night tomorrow with girls. Tuesday night stitch night. Love that. And then I also had a crown replaced last week. Boy, that was fun. Excitement. Yeah, I don't even remember what we got. We have a trip. Obviously we have to go to San Antonio for HOA meeting and pick up my stuff from Under the Sea Fabrics. And then, oh, that's right, Austin, April 7th and 8th, Kevin has golf tournament at Barton Creek. So we will be, I'm looking at my calendar, be in Austin for that. I haven't decided if we're going to drive each day or if we're just going to hopefully have the plane back by then, fly up and land like at Lakeway. There's an airport right there at Lakeway, and just rent a car and stay at the hotel right there because it's on a Sunday and a Monday, the tournament. We'll figure it out. But that's kind of all the crazy stuff that's going on here right now. Oh, and then I got to go to Google. Well, my sister's coming to visit, and my parents are coming up here with the sister for Cameron's birthday in April. And then the following Monday, I'm flying to Google for the week for training. And that's all good. So I'm going to try to get better about vlogging every day, now that hopefully I'm home and calm for a little while. Fingers crossed, everything stays good. And we'll go from there. So thanks for listening. I know this was long. And next time you get to see Stash, Margaret Stash. So bye, everybody. Have a great day. Oh, happy late St. Patty's Day.